The combination of Milton Williams and Christian Barmore has been as advertised, as I said in the last segment. That was the blueprint. I have to imagine this is exactly what they were thinking about when they signed those guys. In the secondary, I think getting Christian Gonzalez back really helps. The second half of that game, I thought he looked like he did last year. He was not bad, but not quite himself against Carolina. Got beat a couple times in the first half, but we got 2024 Christian Gonzalez in the second half of that game. If you get that guy week in and week out, it's going to help Carlton Davis. It's going to help Marcus Jones. They just need to find some way to cover tight ends. That's really what's killing them right now. Besides that, there's a lot to like on that side of the ball. Is
that the linebacker problem? Like, is there a problem with the linebackers?
I mean, it could be a linebacker, could be a safety. You could address it through either position. I think Robert Spillane's playing much better right now than he was at the beginning of the season, which is part of the reason they're better, but they're still looking for that guy next to him. Christian Ellis still hasn't popped. I thought Jack Gibbons played pretty well last week, didn't get as much of a chance this week. We saw a little of Jelani Tavai, but it still feels like if they could get another, solid starter there next to Spillane, it would do a lot.
Yeah, Gibbons was a guy called for pass interference late, correct?
Yeah.
Beard
on fourth down.
Everyone's always pulling on that beard. Do you, Hardy will get it. Do you, how many times do you watch the game? Because, you're breaking down linebacker and safety play. That's not one viewing. If you're intimately aware with Christian Gonzalez's play per half, how many times have you checked out film of that game?
So, obviously watch it once live, kind of just go through basically a second time after, and then I'll pick out certain plays or certain, go through and watch all of Christian Gonzalez. So the entire game twice, maybe 3 times, but there might be some plays that I watched 5, 6, 7 times.
You know what's frustrating is the NFL has the condensed games, they're a half an hour and it's every play.
Yep.
And that makes it worse because you're not watching it live. You already know what happened. And so when you see a game with no fluff, you realize just how little actually happens.
There's not a lot.
No, there's really not. There's a lot of, 2 yards in a cloud of dust. And then, when you're watching it in real time and you don't know what's going to happen.
Oh, it's
fantastic. But watching it all cut up, you're like, not so much was going on there.
My favorite way to watch NFL is 30 minutes behind the action. And that way, on those 2 yards in a cloud of dust plays, as soon as the back hits the line, I do the 30-second skip on the remote. And there you go. Drake May's right back under center or in the shotgun and ready to take. I don't need to watch the rest of that. Whatever they're going to break down on that play, I'm like, it doesn't mean anything to me.
I can't do that. It's like watching Seinfeld on Comedy Central. Now that it's off, I can't watch it on Netflix. I need the stuff.
Well, to your point about how many times you watch the game, one of your mailbag questions this week was about the offensive line. I'm like, this is something I thought we'd be talking a lot about at least 4 or 5 weeks into the season. I didn't pay any attention to the offensive line.
That's a good thing. That's a really good thing.
In the Buffalo game. Yeah. And I think you said they were okay.
They were fine. I saw a lot of people because Drake May kept leaving the pocket. And I think a lot of people interpreted that as the line was not good. And that's not the case. Not always. There were a couple times where he was flush, but there were some times where he's moving, and this gets to, him growing in his maturity. He's moving to manipulate the defense. And on the throw to Diggs, right? He gets out of the pocket, and you see Diggs cut back across the field. That's not really a throw you can make from the pocket. It's a much tougher throw from the pocket, but when he gets outside, he has that angle. So, I saw some people saying it was the worst game of the year for the offensive line, things like that. It wasn't their best. But I thought, especially against a front with Bosa and those guys, I thought they were solid. I think people were a little too nitpicky on what they did in this game.
Okay. With regard to Diggs, and we had talked about this the day after, how much of it was him facing his former team. Those were some really impressive numbers that I don't know anybody expects. But he was doing something else in the game that you pointed out too. And I think Callahan brought it up again yesterday. It's the yards after the catch. And that was really impressive.
So this is the new Stefon Diggs. And this is what's so encouraging is he's not the downfield threat he used to be. He can still get there every once in a while, but he's not, averaging 18 yards per catch in Buffalo. He's not just going to be that at this point in his career. But you look at a lot of the great receivers in this game, and what they did is late in their career, they figured out a way to reinvent themselves. And it looks like that's what Stefon Diggs has done as this intermediate yards after the catch threat. And in this offense, that guy is going to be tremendously productive. It's that Julian Edelman role. And for him to be able to create the way he's doing after the catch, it adds a dynamic that they really have not had in a while from a guy that also is, a reliable receiver and a guy you can trust to get 10, 12 targets a game. We talked about Travion Henderson with the snaps, right? And people saying he needs to play more even though he's playing. People thought Diggs played a lot in that game. He only played half of their offensive snaps. 30 of 60. He was targeted 12 times on 30 snaps, 10 catches on 30 snaps.
Almost half the plays he was in on, he was the target.
Who's to blame on Buffalo for that? Because that is interesting. Like, you give a lot of credit to Diggs, but also, like, that was the story going in. How did they allow that to happen? It's not like there's a surrounding cast of great. Like, he was just kind of riding the coattails of a number one.
But especially in the second half where you see the pattern. You already know in the first half, if he's in there, he's going to get the football. Second half, it got even worse.
Yeah, what'd you see there?
So some of it is just their secondary wasn't good to begin with and is banged up and they're missing guys. But I also think they kind of went in like, all right, 31 years old off a torn ACL, run after the catch. Let's see how you move. Let's see how you cut. And he beat them on it. The way they were covering him was kind of just keep everything in front of you and step up and make the tackle. And he forced a ton of missed tackles in that game.
Yeah, interesting. Because I'm with John. Is in the second half of that game, you're saying
no excuse if you're Buffalo.
How did you not figure out that this is the plan? And he's not AJ Brown, right? And like he's not like an elite number one receiver. He's not Jamar Chase.
Like Alex was saying, he's in the process of reinventing himself. He's not the burner on the outside. He's got to transition. This will be the rest of his career. He's got to transition inside and run routes.
And then there's also some of that. I mean, the throw down the sideline with the rollout.
Yeah.
There's not much more Buffalo can do there. That's one where these guys get paid too. The one where the defensive line is hanging all over me, he flips it forward. Should have been a 2-yard completion. If that, he breaks the tackle, goes for 12. Like, he kind of just didn't let them stop him, to put it bluntly.
He's going to suck this week. All right. He left it all out there in Buffalo. All right. Alex, go ahead. You got something.
Just final thing. It has been offered up in this room that Borregales should have been offended by the way he was treated after that game with all the glad handing and backslapping. It was too much. It was almost condescending, the way he was celebrated after making that kick. How do you feel about that?
I feel like that's how kickers usually get treated after a game winner, especially a long one. I didn't think it was that weird.
It's not long anymore. 52 yards is the new 30.
I know, but he crushed that ball.
Oh, get out of here. He crushed it. Now you've gone too far.
Somebody else, that thing looked like it was good from 75.
Over the goalpost
from
52.
He's at the top of the goalpost from 52. That wasn't like squeaking across 52.
You're putting bad mojo out now, Alex. You're getting too greedy. You're getting too greedy with the Patriots. Now the kick is too much. You've gone too far.
It was an impressive kick.
Your positive vibe has worked thus far, but now I think you're putting negative mojo on the team. You're going over the top.
The universe is going to push back on you.
Oh, it always does.
So if
when you're smiling, the universe is there to yank your pants down.
This does feel like a little bit of a trap game. I talked about that with David yesterday.
Kaboom. Yeah. There you go. It does. It's a trap game. There's nothing on the other end of the trap. So there is, there was last week, not so much the week after. They might be playing a worse team the week after. All right.
The trap is just a stick in a box.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Listen, these are NFL teams that they have to play. Look, going to New Orleans isn't easy.
Their first win of the year last week.
Absolutely. All right. Look, the all-star cast at offense over there. All right. Alex, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Read all his stuff at 985thesportshub.com. He does a great job, videos, everything else.
If you like that clip, and how could you not? Check out more videos from Toucher and Hardy here. Point slightly up and to the left. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. Point slightly down and to the left. And for the latest from the Sports Hub, download at 985thesportshub.com.